Welcome to the check-in. My name is Brianna.
And my name is Tondrea.
And we are your new favorite homegirls.
Checking in with each other and checking in with you.
Yes, so come on in, get comfortable, relax, and let's get into this conversation. So starting with our highs and lows.
Yes, we're starting with our highs and lows.
All right. You want to go or do you want me to go?
You can start.
Okay. My low of this week is that today I had to pay bills. And I had to pay a lot of bills with a lot of money. And I don't like that. I'm grateful that I, was able to afford the bills. But if there is a way that I didn't have to take money, my hard-earned money, out of my account for things that I feel like I should have to pay for, that'd be great. So that's my low. And my high is that I have my first meeting with my client, my first client next week. And I'm so grateful because it just happened it just happened so easily, organically. Like I just was talking about the work that I do and just showing up for myself. Yeah. And testing the waters and everything because I'm new and all that, so I'm excited. And then I connected and I'm really excited to see how that goes. So that's my high.
Yay. I'm gonna do high then my low. So for me, my high is entering the new month and entering the last quarter. I know I brought up how time means something to me. So birthdays, different quarters, different seasons. It's the last 3 months of the year. So just thinking of it as Q4, what am I going to do in this? What are my goals for this month? What are my goals for the last stretch? But for the most part, I'm super duper grateful, super overwhelmed, with joy.
Yeah.
Just with everything that's been happening. And then it made me think of the quote that you posted recently. I didn't repost it right away, but I saved it when it said nothing about what you're doing is small.
Yes.
So knowing how big I want this podcast to be in terms of the community and the platform of people that we reach, I have to be super duper grateful about this accomplishment, because even though it's small, it's big, but it's small compared to the feat that I want to get to. An accomplishment is still an accomplishment. So I'm just on a high, pretty much.
This ain't no little podcast.
No, it's not little, not at all. The start, but yes, the start is, I guess we're learning, so it's exciting to be in a place of learning and knowing the potential that it has, that it will get to.
Yeah.
So yes, my low, nothing crazy really, and I'm not really giving it power. It's how would they say, let feelings come and go. So this is what was going through my mind. Let me get to it. So perfection. So with the podcast, thinking about how I see myself holding back and just different things, see,
get into it.
I know. I'm trying to just get into it, but I'm overthinking and overanalyze with the words I'm saying, with what I want to say. I know that I can write things better than I might say them. So having that low pass of just overthinking my entire process in this journey thus far, but then flipping it of okay, you need to honor what works for you,
right? And
what works for me is notes.
I see you got some color coordinated over there.
No, nothing's color coordinated yet. I
that's
had to
but
grab
still,
some stuff.
but okay.
But yeah, so my notes, and I'm overthinking it, even though we have a lot of audio listeners and not a lot of visual people, but I'm feeling the pressure of the camera. I'm feeling I'm my biggest critic. And so that's probably my low, where I would have moments of overthinking, replaying the episode, editing the episode, hearing my voice back, and all these different things, and I'm going into a spiral, and it's no, figure out what works for you,
right?
Because you're doing great, sweetie.
You're doing great.
So yes, just that was my low, but always bouncing back and making it a high.
Bounce back game.
Yeah,
nice.
Strong.
It's strong.
Bounce back game is
quick.
Strong.
Like just like
it's
that.
Oh, okay. I was going through something. Yeah, no. Let's bounce back.
No,
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Because you can't be stuck in the stuff. Like, you acknowledge it, but you can't get stuck in it because there's like, that's a tiny little thing compared to like all the amazing, wonderful things that you have, that you are capable of, and that you are.
Exactly. Thank you. And so now we are going to get into our pay it forward.
Yes, pay it forward. I can go first.
Okay, great.
My pay it forward is GorillaRx Wellness, and it is a dispensary that is owned by it's Black female woman owned, and it's on Crenshaw, and it started out as like a activist group, and now they have their own dispensary. And I went there, and it's so dope. Like, the vibes is wonderful. It's like, it's colorful. You see a lot of Black women that are working there, and they help guide you, and it just makes me think like, yeah, this is intentional. Like, this is a Black woman. That's a Black woman created this. And even like the merch that they have, like, Black woman lift. I think it says Black woman lift us higher, and all the stuff that they have, and just how, like, you can tell it's like there's a space for everything. And I don't know, I love the fact that it started off as activism group to now holding space and taking up space, and having voices heard, and still fighting for the why am I losing my words, but still fighting for justice for Black and brown people who are incarcerated for selling or smoking weed. And now that the industry is all predominantly white males who are profiting off of it, I'm glad to see that a Black woman, because Black women heal all, taking up space, and as they have taken, as she's taken up space and has this place, also still fighting and advocating for justice. So that is my pay it forward.
Yes. Just one today?
Yeah, just one today.
Okay. I have 3. I have 2, but one is an oldie, but still a goodie. I feel like I said, how I've been holding back. I haven't done my homework. I have not really done the assignment when it comes to pay it forward. So I have to do my homework when it comes to these businesses, because they are offering so many great things that I might not think of at the top of my head. So I'm going to run Tweedy Tough Fitness back.
Oh, run it back? Okay.
Because yesterday she made a post, and she has an app.
She has an app?
She has an app. So she just launched the app, and I said, go, sis. Like,
how did I miss that?
Right. She done made a whole app. So,
okay.
As mentioned last week, for the people that are trying to work on their body, we are going in. Well, it is fall. If you want to continue with those goals, it is Tweedy Tough Fitness, and she just does all fitness training. It'll be group trainings, it'll be individual trainings, and she's selling resistance bands on her website. And with the app, the onboarding is super duper dope. Pretty much how you are going through the process of setting up your account. She's asking about weight, height. You can take pictures. You can track your nutrition, your activities. She puts her workouts up there. So yes, Tweedy Tough Fitness. I have more information now. I understood the assignment.
Man.
Right. So, so yes, I was just like, I have to run it back, because I left out a lot of information.
Wow.
A whole app.
She has a whole app.
A whole app. So
log in your water and macro and calorie
intake. Right. So if you are looking for her Instagram is TweedyTough_. And if you are looking for the app, it's My Tweedy Tough Fit. So there's my first pay it forward. And my second one, since, I'm going to try to keep it all aligned with the whole fall thing. We are out in California, and it is hot today. So if you hear any background, we're burning up over here.
Yeah. So
with that being said, we're lucky to still go to the beach in the fall. So you can still get your swimsuits. I am going to shout out Lexi Couture Swim. And it is It's from a friend of mine. Her name is Dev. And so it's luxury swim, lounge, and resort wear, designed and handmade in Los Angeles. Right now, they're running a 50% off sale because we are switching seasons. So definitely support her. She's been doing it for a while. The bathing suits can run from, they're all like pretty sexy bathing suits, but if you're not into the sexy look, there's a few others.
Ooh.
Right?
Oh, wow.
Like, they look so good. So good. So definitely support her. Her Instagram is Lexi Couture Swim. And then my last one is, if you're staying inside and you don't want to be a hot girl fall, get some candles and, treat yourself to some cake.
You guys shout out for the whole, like, if you want this, you got this. If you want this, I love it.
And what I did, I realized, yes, you know how we were doing Friend of the Fave and stuff like that. There's a lot of people that are out here really exploring
like
their creative
it,
niche, yes, and doing just whatever they want to do with their businesses. So I'm like, okay, I did some more research with people that I know, and this is what I found. So, not this one. This girl, I actually do know her. She's really, really cool. But it's Quaint Keystones, and it is soy candles. They're all handcrafted in the Bay Area, and they're developed with divine intent, where poetry and story meet. Or poetry and a story meet.
Who is this?
This is Sarah. So this is the twins, Maya and Milan's. This is their friend.
Okay.
So yeah, so she started a candle line, and with the line, like, they're all named something super like cute, and they have a really nice scent. I've smelled a few of them. I haven't got mine yet. Okay. I'm gonna get it, girl. I'm gonna get it. But I haven't got mine yet. But for the most part, I have seen them, and she just,
that's nice.
she's doing the thing.
And it's poetry on
grounded, yeah. So like they all have different attributes, pretty much. Like the candle is like a personality.
I like that
on its own.
I need to check that out.
Yes. So those are my pay it forwards for this week. We will leave them in the show notes. We will leave them on the YouTube, and we will also be posting every Friday our pay it forward, or we might change the day around, just so you guys can stay in touch with all of these Black businesses that we're shouting out.
Yeah. Okay. Put us on.
Yes,
all right.
I have to, recycle the Black dollar.
Recycle the Black dollar. Like, that's
and it just
what
gets
I'm all
me
about.
so happy
it
to
does.
see these Black businesses out here.
That's even like earlier I was at work and I saw this woman have a different, she had a tank top version of this t-shirt that I have for Juneteenth. And I saw it and I was like I was like, oh my gosh, like I have that same shirt just like as a t-shirt. And I was saying how like as soon as I saw that they had it, like it was sold out. But I had to try to find it and everything. We were just having a whole conversation. We were just like, yeah, like Black owned things. Like we were just so happy that it became like a really, really big thing. Because now everything that I want to buy, I think about like, is it Black owned first? Right. So I'm like getting it from Black owned. Like even books, I want to get it from Black owned bookstores and everything. Like,
and there's one. I have to find out the name, but there is one out here.
There is?
Yeah, there's one in Leimert Park. That one's open, and then I think they're going to get ready to open one by Sip and Sonder.
Oh.
Girl, I'll be out here.
No, for reals, because I was trying to get my best friend to open one, because I'm like, I don't know Black-owned bookstores, and I want to go to a Black-owned, like if I can go to a Black-owned bookstore, I would probably be there all the time.
Yeah, that one, you can't really chill. It's not like that vibe, but I feel like the one that they're going to open by Sip and Sonder is going to be a chill inside vibe, and just connect and be able to
let's get into the topic.
Let's get into the topic. And I feel like people that see the topic, you guys might think selfish, self-centered, those are the same things. We're going to tell you our spin on what selfish versus self-centered means to us. I'll go into the definitions that they have. And so selfish is of a person, action, or motive, lacking consideration for others, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. And the synonyms for those that like those: egocentric, egotistical, self-serving, inconsiderate.
Yeah. Whoa. So for self-centered, we have preoccupied with oneself one's affairs. And there's another one I saw is self-sufficient,
yes,
independent of outside force or influence. That's the one that I mainly identify with. And the reason why I really wanted to
says emotionally and intellectually independent. So
yeah, exactly. Self-sufficient, independent. Like, see, that's why I love it so much. Because the other one I feel like it's the same thing as selfish, but they're two different things to me. Like the similar words or like synonyms are self-regarding, self-obsessed. Yes. Self-seeking, self-interested, self-serving, inward-looking, introverted.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I
like those.
Think of it from an introverted perspective.
Right. Because even they have introverts messed up. That could be a whole different conversation. Because I don't like the introvert slander. It's so unfair. There's no extrovert slander, and I don't like that. Anyways, self-centered. So the reason why I thought it was important to have this conversation was because I remember telling you how I was like having the mindset of being a self-centered person compared to like thinking that like, oh, being like moving in the energy of like, oh, I have to be selfish. I need to be selfish. I need to be selfish. Where it's like, when you think about being selfish, that is like low vibrational energy. Like, like you're trying to be ill against somebody else, or somebody did something to you. In my mind, in my experience, it was like, somebody doing something to me, so I need to be selfish instead of how I viewed self-centered being more of like being centered with self, and focusing on taking care of myself first, and then being able to take care of other people, and also being like with this whole like self-love journey and everything, like being like obsessed and what was the other one they said? Self-seeking. That is like, that's what self-centered means. And I feel like being more on that wave compared to being selfish is where we should be.
Right. And I think when you first brought it up to me, I was like, you're going to have to guide me through that, because they seemed like they were the same thing for me. And then when you had a play on words and was like, you're more centered with self, I said, okay, I can connect with being centered with self rather than like, it's still the same thing, like, but for the most part, putting it in that perspective as with being selfish, it does feel like it comes from a lack mindset. It comes from like just a place of offense, and just who knows, it could be trauma, it could be like a lot of different things where it's just mine. And it there was a book that I read, I think it was like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and he was talking about different strategies in life of like win-win mentality. So if you have a win-win mentality or a lose-lose mentality, like if it's a win-win, that's where I equate self-centered to. Like, at the end of the day, I'm centered with myself, so it's an overflow. So I'm winning, you're winning. Like, it's just a constant cycle of winning. Like, I'm giving to you, I know you'll give to me. And even if you don't, like, I'm good with me. But when it comes to being selfish, it's, what can I take? Like, it's a lose. Like, it's a win-lose mentality, or lose-win. I don't remember which
but somebody first. Has to lose.
But, and it's just, let me figure out how I can get my needs met without consideration of getting, like, of helping you, showing up for you, whatsoever. It's like a leech, literally. Like, and you're just draining the person of everything to make sure you're good. Right. Like,
No. If you have something else, keep going, because I think that's so true. Where it's like, it has kind of like that, like, I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I can't trust people. Blah 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 blah. Selfish mode, because people don't know how to and it's like, I feel like that's just feeding off of this negative energy. That it's like, it's not healthy. Because then you tend to isolate yourself, and then create this like this false narrative or this world that like everybody's out to get you, so you have to put yourself first, when it's like, with being self-centered, yes, I'm putting myself first, like you said, so I can pour into others. And it goes with the whole people pleasing, where it's like, I feel like when the people who are hurt from their own people pleasing go into selfish mode, but people who are like, let me not engage in the people pleasing, like there's a different side of like, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm good, take care of myself, do your morning routine, or do whatever you need for you, and then I'm gonna help other people. Right. And it's like, okay, cool, because it's like if you're good and you're like, you see people and they're just in their own zone and they're just vibing and everything, and you can just feel that energy, and then it bounces off somebody else and you're like, oh, I see, that's dope, and it's like, but I see you, blah 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 blah. I feel like that's the more energy of being self-centered, where it's like I'm doing me, and then you can help somebody else, or you interact with somebody, or you say something that somebody's like, I needed that, whatever, and then it's like, okay, cool, now you gave to the other person, but you're still doing you.
Right.
You're still filled, like, filled up, but you're still able to touch other people or help other people or interact with other people without thinking like, because I know sometimes I would be like, oh, I need to be like, make sure that I don't talk to this many people because they're going to take all my energy and and it's like, why are you acting like
made
vultures?
Yeah.
And some people can be vultures.
No, some people can, because I know that you said something about it could come from a people-pleasing state. I feel like I've encountered some people that have never been in a people-pleasing state, and they've just approached it like, I'm going to get what's mine, and I'm going to put me first, and I don't care who's in my way. Like, so sometimes I feel like it could be their upbringing, where maybe their parents or household or whatever the case may be, of like, no, make sure you get what you need, or I'm going to give you as much as you can, like I'm going to give you anything you want,
right? And
so I feel like there's just a lack of consideration that people have in their like developmental stages, if that makes sense.
No,
like,
that makes sense.
So I feel like some people are like, they might not even be cognizant of the fact that they're selfish until people have to tell them. And with being self-centered, I feel like that comes with a self-awareness as well. Like if somebody was to tell you you're selfish and tell you about how you're selfish, and you have the discernment to say, oh, that's accurate, then you're being self-aware of, how am I going to work my way out of it. I'm still going to put me first,
right?
But how can I put me first and also be there for you,
right?
And so
can I add to that though? It made you saying that's like, oh, if somebody, I'm saying projecting, being like, you're being selfish if you're in a self-centered place. If you know, like, you know what you do and what you don't do, who you are, who you aren't, and somebody's like, you're selfish, it's like, am I selfish, or am I just not allowing somebody else to come before me, but still, like, I'm like taking care of myself, but like I'm not allowing somebody to have access to me who doesn't need that,
right.
No,
because
some people, I feel like they like, even like, I don't know if I don't know if, what am I trying to say? Somebody who's selfish can call somebody else out who's selfish. Like, actually, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. But like somebody else who may want to move in a way where they are putting themselves first can call somebody else selfish without really seeing like, no, they're not being selfish. Or I feel like, or even just to your point of saying like somebody who's self-centered is aware of like when they are and when they aren't. Right. And it's like, I don't think so. Or they, like you said, they might be moving in that way. But what does that mean to them? Then they like, I feel like you sit with yourself and you're like, again, you come back to yourself and you're like, is this me or is it not me? Is this true? Is it not true?
Right. Yeah. That's what it comes from. For self-centered, for me, how I interpret it is like an awareness and an accountability. I feel like people that move in a selfish state are literally just in this lack mindset of how can I just take. But I don't think, like, there's some people that I have encountered that's legit just, I can't even think of the word, but just rude about it. Like, I want this and this works for me, and I don't care how I did not show up for you. So, but they're not people pleasers. So that's where it's like, for me, it's like, okay, you're just, so like, I can't even like think of the words, but it's like, there's certain people that's like, no, this is not a good selfish, because you're draining me. Like, you're taking everything that I have given you, that I've, like, even if I have put myself first, you've just gotten to the point that it's just drained me dry, and you keep coming back for more and more to make sure that you're good. But what about me?
No,
like,
for real.
And you don't have to cater to me, but again, I'll move in a direction of, okay, when I'm around this person, I'm drained. When I'm around this person, like, I can't keep giving them this energy. So let me put myself first now.
Right.
Let me be selfish in that way, or let me be self-centered in that way. But there's certain people that's just like, your character, like, there's just something negative about that selfishness. And
I remember seeing a video where it was like, you know, people who are like selfish, you know, they'll be like, oh shoot, okay, people who are selfish will just like take and take and take, like you said, and then when a person's like, this is all I have left, they'll be like, okay, no, I'll take that too, and then you have nothing, and then they're like, okay, you have nothing to give me, so I can't, like, why are you here? And it's like,
and then goes to somebody else
and take and take,
or
and
goes
take.
To a new opportunity, it might not be a person, it might be an opportunity, it might be just anything for legit personal gain, and it's like, I do not care about anybody.
Right, exactly.
I don't care.
Exactly.
And they have no remorse about that.
No.
So,
yeah. And being centered with self is being, to me, is just being aware of like what my needs are, and what what my needs are, and what I need to do to like cultivate like self-awareness, to be grounded, to be like, you know, happy, to like feel like just centered in myself, like knowing who I am, and being like, okay, this is my energy, this is my frequency. All right, cool. I'm about to like go out and do this and hang out with people, like, you know, or not, even if you're not hanging out with people, being like, if you're just going somewhere and just knowing that like, I'm good.
Yeah.
No matter what, like I like, I'm gonna go do this. I don't have to worry about somebody like coming in and attacking me, or somebody trying to take something from me, or whatever. It's just really just being in my own world, and just being in my own world. Like, to me, it's like allowing myself to be in my own world in a healthy way. It's like not escapism, but just being like, I'm doing me. Like, I'm good. Right. Like, I'm just good.
Good.
And it's like, oh yeah, like, how you feel? I'm doing great. Like, I feel really good. Yeah. It's like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I just, you know, chill myself, or I do this for me, or whatever. And it's like, you know, when it's like, it's a different type of glow, or a different type of feeling, when it's like, you can tell when somebody is really just like in their zone, doing them, putting them first, and saying no when they need to say no. And saying yes when they want to say yes. And it's like, it's a whole different level, and it's just a different frequency, and I love seeing it. And seeing different people now, like now having this like idea, like, oh, okay, like person is more like centered with self, or self-centered, compared to like before, being like, you know, like I don't know, like, or they're cocky, or they're like, you know, or like, I don't know, like just something. I feel like it's been, what I'm trying to say is, I feel like there's been like a negative tone towards people who are centered with their self. Right. Like having just kind of like a rooted confidence.
Oh, okay.
You know? Which all comes with being like centered with yourself, in my opinion. And I love seeing it now, where it's like, I'm like, oh, I see you.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing you. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's like a radical form of self-care.
A radical form of self-care. Like, yes.
I'm going to be self-centered. I'm going to be however you want to interpret it. It's just a radical form of self-care, being self-absorbed. It's like knowing the power that you hold.
Right.
Do you think any type of negative connotation when it comes to the two? Because I know that you're a strong advocate for flipping the negative connotation.
Yeah.
But do you have any type of thoughts on that?
On like, or so are you saying like, is there a negative side to being self-centered? And
no, just being selfish. Like what you're taking, like you've expressed what self-centered is, but what is your difference of encountering a selfish individual? Like what does that look like for you?
Okay, encountering. Is that the word? Encountering. Wow.
It's okay.
Encountering a selfish. That's sorry, I just threw for a loop.
About seashells. She cares about the seashore.
Encountering a selfish person is like what we talked about earlier. Is somebody who really does not have a care in the world about you or anybody else's.
Well, okay.
family.
How about this? How about this? Have you encountered?
Oh, yes, I have.
Person?
Yes, I have.
We don't have to go too much into it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
No. Yeah. I won't have to get too much into it, but yes, I dealt with someone who was really selfish.
Right.
It took me a minute to realize they were really selfish, but that video that I talked about earlier really did resonate with me because it was like, you know, give me, pour into me, and like, you know, I need help with this. I need help. I need to understand that, or like, you know, give me your time, give me your energy, give me. And then when I had nothing else, and when I was like in a low place or low frequency, they didn't have time or can't hold space.
Right. And
it was kind of like it would be kind of like figure it out. Here's some words of encouragement or da 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 da. And then like when I was like, okay, I'm feeling good. Okay, cool, because blah 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 blah. And it's like I have 5% battery recharge, and you're excited about that because I have 5% now.
I don't like that. It's
like, wait, can I get to 100? But it was like they needed me to be at 100 so I can give them.
But they're operating at like 50%.
They're operating at 50%. Constantly. And so it's like I've had different people who I realized that, like, you know, I've encountered different people who, you know, would just like rely on that 100%, and they would conserve their battery, take from me. And then when they were filled up, it was like, okay, cool. When I was down, it was kind of like, I'm busy. I don't have time, or I don't have this, I don't have that. I can't show up for you. Take space so you can feel better. Come back to me when you're good. Okay, you're good. I'm so glad. Okay, now this is what I've been wanting to talk to you about. That threw me. When I actually realized, I was like, damn, you only can handle me when I'm able to serve you. Damn. So that not pushed me, but I had to, I did, but I had to realize, like, no, I need to be 100 and keep and do, like, be 100 for me.
And there was something, I don't even remember where it was from, but certain people that, how I said, they might be operating at a 50%. I think somebody gave advice where it's like, meet them where they're at. Like, knowing that you can come at 100% or 110%, whatever the case may be, don't fill them up so they can get to their 100. Right. You're operating at 50, I'm giving you 50. Because I need to preserve me, because I see your type. Like,
right. And pointing it out.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, this is all you can give me, this is all you can get back. Right. And that might seem selfish, but I feel like that's being centered with yourself, of like preserving who you are, being grounded, and making sure you're good, because
because now when I can tell people who are just giving 50, I'm like, I can't even. For me, I'm like, I can't even give you anything. Like, as soon as I notice it, because
that's good too.
My, like, even
that's
for me,
way better.
Like, I mean, just for me, like, even my 5% is somebody 75, is somebody 100, and I just know how I am, and I can't give you that because I'm still working on my boundary of not trying to give anybody, you know, trying to just giving, and still staying centered with myself, because, you know, it's a journey, it's a practice over and over. You get trials and tribulations and everything, but I know me, and I know what I can give, and knowing people who are leeches off of that, and just, you know, who are just naturally selfish and everything, it's like, nah, I can't give you that energy, because you're just going to profit off of that, and you don't know how to stop. And once you give them some, they're going to be expecting it, and it will have a full-on attitude if you don't give it to them,
because they've put you at this standard,
right?
Consciously, subconsciously, like, they've put you at this standard. This is how much you're going to give me, and this is the standard that you're going to stay,
and this is what you're going to receive, is down here.
But I can't give you that.
No.
If the tables were turned, I can't give you that. But
no, Because I have to focus on myself. Sorry,
like,
that's all I was hearing.
Right. Triggered. But no.
Right. But no, but also that's a lot of the narrative is like, from what I hear is like selfish people who act in like the selfish way are like, I can't give, I got to keep for myself, but you can give to me. Right. You know? And I feel like there's a difference of like, I understand what you're doing. I'm not going to play into this game.
Yeah.
When you want to be equal and reciprocate, cool. But if not, I'm not going to play into this game. Like, I'm not going to just do that. So, yeah, that's me. What about you? Have you encountered selfish people?
Few of them. I think with the whole people pleasing and figuring out the people pleasing so late in the game, I feel like I've dealt with a few people, and it just, like, I think one person, it would just take. But it was manipulated in a sense of, I just want you to be the best version of you. Okay, you want me to be the best version of me, so I'm still showing up for the things that you want. But then when I ask for something, why are you asking? Like, oh, you shouldn't give and then ask for something in return. Like, that I forgot what they called it, but it was like, no, you shouldn't be that type of person to give and then ask for something, because it just doesn't seem genuine. But you ask all the time, and then I feel, and then it's still not enough.
Yeah.
And I put quotes around enough because I know that I'm more than enough.
Right.
And I don't need that label. But yeah, so there was that. There was another like person that just, it felt like a burden when I would ask for something, or when I was going through something. It would just be very interesting if I was going in a really dark place, how they would disappear and then show up when they're, oh, well, I'm ready to hang around you. Huh?
Right. Like, yeah. Like, where was you at?
You're ready to hang around me when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're all these things, but I have to just
be ready and be available all the time.
Accessible, like you have access to me at any stage, and you have no care in the world about the life that I actually have. Like, I'm not a test dummy. Like, I'm a person that's going through things like you, and I show up for you, but you can't show up for me. Like, it's just, yeah. So those are the people, like those instances. I don't know if I really had like selfish friends, because I feel like if I reflect on any selfish encounters with friends now, I probably admire it as a sense of, no, this is not what I want to do. Like how I said, not mixing friends and just letting them be who they are as individuals. Now I can see that as, they didn't want to go out because that wasn't what they're interested in, and they don't have to do that because they're putting themselves first, and they are centered with themselves. And I might have felt some way because I was in a dark place of people pleasing and just that's crazy how they just can't do things that I'm interested in, and like I'm feeling some type of way, but it's like when I think about it now, it's like, no, they're just centered with themselves and they didn't want to do it, Tandre, and it's okay.
It's okay.
Like, it's fine. So I think I have encountered it, and sometimes it may have been selfishness, but now looking at the spin on it, it was not that at all. Like, the selfishness that was actually harmful probably came from those and family. I think I've encountered some selfish family. Like, some people do stuff and I just be like, y'all get on my everlasting nerves. Ooh, but I can't. That's like so. Yeah. Who knows? I can't even think of an example right now. No. But yeah. Yeah. So
only time I can think of example when it comes to family. Well, no, like not I don't think example of being selfish. I mean, like I'm thinking about like my younger siblings when we were kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids.
Exactly.
But at the same time, there was times that they really they did not want to do A, B, and C, and they didn't have to do A, B, and C, but because I was like, oh, no, I thought you had to do A, B, and C because of people pleasing.
Yeah.
I would get jealous and be like, they're being selfish.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing this and this and that. I have to do this and this and that. And it's like, no, you could have just been like, I don't want to go here. I don't want to do this.
Right.
I don't want to eat that or whatever little things. It was just, you know.
And that just made me think, even if I was to say that, if I was centered with myself, I would feel no guilt. And I think I feel a lot of guilt.
Yep.
When I do put myself first in that way.
Yeah.
And then if it is the first thing you said about the people pleasing and going into a negative state of being selfish, of no, because I've done it. It's like turning into a reactive state and like bitter, where I'm like, no, now I'm putting myself first. I'm being selfish.
That's what I meant.
So I think, yeah. But I feel like some people, they wasn't raised right.
Yep.
But yeah, so yes, that made me think of that.
Yeah, no, and I know there was definitely a time where I was running off of that, of being like very bitter, of being like, oh, I need to be selfish because I've been doing A, B, and C, D, E, F, the whole alphabet times 2.
Yeah.
And when it was like, no, if you just listen to yourself and been like, I don't want to go hang out with these people. I don't have to.
Can't do it, don't want to.
I don't want to. Can't do it, don't want to. Oh, we really want you. Sorry, I really want to hang out with you. I really want to see you. I don't want to hang out with you. Why'd you go hang out with them? And then it was like, oh, I need to be selfish because people. No. You just need to take care of yourself and pour into yourself.
Yes.
And be like, what is good for Brianna? This is good for Brianna right now.
That's checking in.
Exactly. And that's all. I feel like self-centered is checking in with yourself. And just we're always coming back to
revolving around you.
Yes.
Everything
is this good for
you in
me?
That way.
Right. And that's exactly. And that's what, like, you know, being what am I saying?
Selfish, self-centered.
Yeah, selfish, self-centered. Like being self-centered is like really consistently like, okay, I'm moving in this way. Is this is this what I want to do? I'm going here. Is this really what I want to do? This person wants to see me. Okay, cool. If I have A, B, and C, D, you know, all that stuff to do, do I want to make time for this, or do I need to take care of this? Right. If I'm feeling bad about not hanging out, why? Like, it's like stuff like that, instead of being like, oh no, because this person, they didn't want to hang out last time, so I'm not gonna hang. It's like they might have had something to do, you know, stuff like that. Like being less reactive and just being really intuitive and just being really intuitive with yourself and just like, okay, this is what I can and cannot give for right now, but you know, how can I show up another time, or you know, if this is worth my time, you know, so stuff like that. So
sorry, the noise is stressing me out. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like we touched on all the points, like about what our spin on it was. I did find this image, the color coordination that you saw, and they did a verses as well. So for the self-centered, they said self-centered refers to having an excessive interest and concern of oneself, does not directly indicate a lack of consideration for others, and not necessarily harmful to others. Selfish refers to a lack of consideration, preoccupation with one's own pleasure, profit, or welfare, indicates a lack of consideration for others, and always harmful.
Always harmful.
Always harmful. So, yes, we gave the definitions, but want to just reel it in.
Yeah.
In case you're still a little confused. And if you don't want to say you're self-centered, say you're centered with yourself.
Right. Like, or if you don't vibe with this at all, take what resonates and, you know, leave what doesn't.
Yeah, definitely take what resonates. Or, you know, some people might say, oh, I view as self-centered as selfish, and I view
right, you're right. You know, as long as you just don't be harmful.
Yeah,
go with the one that's not harmful.
Others. Please. Like, put yourself first, but don't approach it in an offensive, lack mindset.
Exactly. As long as you're putting yourself first, but you're also able to give to others. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Exactly. Any takeaways, tips? Hot tips.
Tips
what
is.
We wish we knew.
Okay. Well, all
Anything,
right.
Yeah.
So wish we knew. I just wish I knew when I was younger that it's okay to say no. When it's a no. And and the hot tips I would give is when it's a no, when it's a hard no, say no.
Yeah.
Don't feel guilty about listening to yourself, and also say yes when you want to say yes.
Right.
But just take time to understand like what that is. Like if you say yes and you feel like about it, understand, like reflect, like okay, that was actually a no.
Right.
So the next time you want to say no and you have that feeling, you can say no.
I hear that. Me, it's still a work in progress for me. But for the most part, nowadays, I definitely put myself first a lot. So my tips are reading a lot of self-help books, just making sure that you are self-aware. You don't have to overanalyze like the crazy person I am, but being in situations where you just look within, and the journaling, to just reset, whatever you have to do to recenter yourself, like how she touched on anxiety, or if you've had panic attacks or something like that. Like if it's a hard no, it's a hard no, but if you put yourself in that position, how can you be in an environment that is not conducive for you and get back to you in the best way, shape possible? I don't really have too much tips besides books and just, being in tune with yourself.
Right. And also you just said something. Take time to be with yourself. I think being self-centered also calls for taking time to be feeling yourself, like enjoying yourself. If that means like, baths or even listening to music, like you said, reading books, like really intentionally separating yourself from other people to like fill up your cup, and be your biggest hype person.
Hello.
Like, be your biggest hype person.
Outside of, the nice, happy stuff.
Right.
You are the main character.
Exactly.
I have to get loud.
There you go.
You are the main character. There are no extras in your show. It is about you.
All about you, girl.
And other people are the main character as well. Like, let them be the main character in their show, and you be the main character in your show. And it's going to be great. Like, for the most part, just operate in that way. Do not shrink. Just constantly put yourself first. And if anyone is uncomfortable about it, then you need to evaluate the people that you're around.
Right. Because the people in your life, the people who do a guest appearance in your life in your show should be like hyping you up.
Right.
But the ones who are trying to bring you down, they gonna leave.
If they're trying to compete for the main character, they're not even the main character of their own show.
No.
They should not how she said about the mind your business. How are you minding my business? Like, and who's minding your business?
Right.
So if they're trying to compete with you and your main character energy, then they got something going on. So be the main, like, that's what self-centered is. If you need to just pour into yourself in that way and you operate on that frequency, then do that.
Right. Exactly. And if people got a problem with it, they gotta leave. Let them go.
Let them go.
Because again,
and remove those selfish people, the harmful ones out of your life.
Set those boundaries. Yes, set those boundaries now.
Get rid of them. It's time for it to go.
It's time. It's a new season. We got new characters,
like I said, new season, new quarter. What are you doing in this last stretch? Who has to go?
Yeah.
Put yourself first.
Put yourself first. Period. Okay. Yes.
So, yes.
Yeah.
There's something that we're missing.
There is something that
self-care.
Self-care. There we go.
We done got on a roll.
I'm over here like I'm on shabba dabba lava and everything.
Like about to
exactly,
shout.
just right. Self-care.
For the week, it's Friday, so any
it's Friday, weekend. Well, I can't even think about No, I can't think. So I'm thinking. Do you have yours?
I don't. Actually. Yikes! Look at us. We need to be prioritizing this stuff.
Exactly. Well, I mean, because I have a busy week. I mean, these 2 months, my weekends are busy. I have like we're talking about. My schedule is picking up, so I am taking time in between. I don't know if I said this last week, but if it is, it's going to be a continuation of taking little pockets of time that I have in between the stuff that I get to do to focus on me. Like earlier this week, I wasn't able to go on my walks in the morning like I wanted to because I had to like get up early for work and everything. So in between the stuff that I am getting paid to do, I took space to take a walk. And it was like, you know, in Koreatown, doing whatever. And even though it's not my usual thing, like, I, you know, created that time and I felt so much joy for myself. And I'm like, oh, I did this in the niche of time when I thought I was like, oh, this is not my routine, you know? So, like, I'm just going to, even though I'm not able to have a lot of time and space like I would like to do all my stuff, making time to pour into myself while I have to be on the go.
Okay. I don't have nothing major for the week or the weekend. Tonight, I might hang out with my friend and go to a bar. Oh. So, yeah, that she texted me and she was just like, are you free? And I was just like, you know, I think I needed a night out. So, I think that just being social and actually being able to put on something cute. Okay, you know, I still feel quarantined all the time. Like, so put on something cute and come back and clean. That sounds very grandma-ish, but I've done laundry, and it is time to get my zen back in order because it's cluttered, and I can't think in clutter. So,
oh, I'm starting a new book.
Nails too. Oh, which one?
A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson.
Courtesy of Tandra's
library. I came in and I was like, I'm taking a book. What book can I take today?
Make sure you give it back because I need to read it.
So I'm reading the book. You know,
steal from me. She's trying to steal from me. I don't have a September read. So if somebody has any suggestions, I should not be spending money on any more books, quite honestly. But
that doesn't mean you can't put it in your Amazon cart.
If it's in the cart, it's going to be shipped here.
You can't put it on your book list.
Oh, the wish list?
There you go.
Right. Discipline. Let me know. Did I say September read? We're in October.
We sure are, and I did not hear that. I really didn't include.
If anybody has an October read suggestion, let me know. But
yes.
Yeah, I think that is it. Hope you guys had time to reflect.
Right.
And please leave ratings to help boost our platform. If you enjoy us, tell us how you enjoy us. Those that have texted us, we definitely appreciate that as well. But if you want to share to the world how much you enjoy us,
right,
I would love. So.
Yes, we love the support.
Yes.
And yeah, just remember to check in with yourselves as you check in with us. And yeah, make sure that you take time for yourself and cultivate self-centeredness.